Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon everyone. First of all, let us give praise and thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given us grace so that we can gather this time. Honorable Mr. Dr. Andriana Gafar, MMPD, as the lecturer of the Communicative Classroom Instructions course. And also to all my beloved friends, may we all be given health and this presentation can run smoothly until the event is over. Amin ya Rabbal Alamin. Before we begin, let's start this discussion by reading Bismillah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Well, straight away, we from Group 3 will present the material on establishing a favorable climate for cooperation, and here I'm Rafika Amara as the moderator who will guide the discussion this time. First of all, I will introduce the member of our group, namely Nur Sofia, myself as Rafika Amara, and Sepia Humaira. Okay, now here is some coverage of the material that will be delivered, including the first is creating a business-like climate. Number 2 is beginning a new school year. Number 3 is displaying wittiness. Number 4, modeling preparation and organization. Number 5 is orchestrating smooth efficiency transition. Number 6 is dispensing with administrative duties. Number 7, saving time when distributing materials and giving buying directions. Number 8, employing technology to enhance classroom efficiency. Number 9 is saving time with intra-class grouping. Number 10 is accommodating students who complete work at different times. And the last is creating a comfortable, non-training, and self-learning community. Okay, next is the material presentation session, where the first material will be delivered by Nur Sofia. To Nur Sofia, time is yours.
Okay, review the moderator, the next material, creating a business climate. The advantage of business-like atmosphere, a business atmosphere in the classroom can carry out tasks that lead students to achieve usable and meaningful learning goals without spending a lot of energy and time. The next slide, the meaning of business-like. For some people, business-like term implies formality in manner and dress. A business-like classroom refers to a learning environment in which students and teachers behave in ways that demonstrate that achieving short-time learning goals take priority over other interests. Of course, there are skill activities in the business environment that are not directly related to the academic learning. However, various occurring in business classroom, including in terms of how officially learning is delivered. Energy and short-time learning activities might be fun for some students but boring for others. In both cases, above participants is of course considered an important and serious issue. The next 5 steps toward a business-like atmosphere. 1. Take advantage of the start of the new school years of semester to prepare the stage for collaboration. Demonstrative, prepared, organization, and ready. 3. Minimize transmission time. And D. Use a communication style that enables of a comfortable and non-killing environment where students are free to engage in learning activities without fear of being ambassadors, harassed, or harmed. And last, correlate set behavior expansion. The next slide, beginning a new school year. Student package next year, not students achieve in classroom the first day of school with some preparations about what to expect and what is the expectation of them. Even most students know that they must follow teacher instruction and that antisocial behavior such as fighting is not tolerant. Experiment have taught our students that shouting, saying the wrong words, leaving classroom without permission, and disrespect are some of the things teachers don't like. Taking advantage of initial usually take advantage of the attention students are given in the first day of school to begin establishing patterns of on-text comparative behavior. Then, if study will understand what is expected of us, allowing the situation of establishing standards, meaning knowledge have a negative impact of the smooth running of the class. Next, planning for a variable beginning. Plan your attention to complete this task eventually identify the possible problem, pH, supplies necessary findings, study reports to follow instruction, and stimulate alternative ways to respond. What preparation does your school safety plan provide in the crisis situation? Then evaluate the various alternatives available. After about a week of the thinking hard about how you want the class to function, you are ready start planning for the new school year of the semester. The next material is playing with class. Changing from teacher environment. The purpose of using the first stage assessment sheet is to help get to know students better of teacher analysis can demonstrate what check of knowing cause present. By definition, reasoning is the degree to which a teacher is aware of what is happening with other classroom. The S in big until head has lowered and gesture of solidarity never influences their teacher inspires students. Chance of completing assessment by showing them they can complete assessment and that they can accurately identify what is happening in class. Okay, maybe enough for me. The next material by Sepia. Sepia, time is yours.
Okay, thank you moderator. Now I will explain the point about modeling preparations and organizations. In this point, there are two discussion points. The first one is the importance of the third and fourth stage of teaching cycles. These are the preparation and organizational stage for the learning activity. Two teacher case, Mr. Stockton and Miss Pigley, are used as example of how they successfully impress upon students that instruction should be followed seriously and learning activities are important. So, each step that both of them take in the learning activity then classified based on its placement in the teaching cycle model. For example, the first, Mr. Stockton operates in the third stage of the cycle when he decides to demonstrate the experiment at the beginning of the class period. The two, Mr. Stockton operates in the fourth stage of the cycle when the experiment in videotape in preparations for the class meeting. The three, Mr. Pigley was operating in the fourth stage of the cycle when she prepared the poster and hung them on the classroom wall. And the last, Miss Pigley was also operating in the fourth stage of the cycle when she posted the envelopes under students' desks before the class meeting. So this shows that most of the steps in the list from activity 3.3 are within the scopes of the third and fourth stage of the teaching cycle model, which involve determining and preparing for the learning activity. The way Mr. Stockton and Miss Pigley organize and prepare their class contributes to the smooth operation of the class and the desired impressions leave on the students. So the second point is the effect of preparation on classroom climate and efficiency. Thorough preparation by a teacher can send a strong message to students about seriousness of learning and efficiency in the classroom. So for example, Mr. Stockton spent more time preparing for a video demonstration of a scientific experiment. However, this made it easier for him to start the first session smoothly and students were well engaged in the learning activities. Preparation such as making name card for students also help to create an organized atmosphere in the classroom. Documents such as well-prepared syllabus also provide several advantages such as giving students an idea of the course objective and structure. In addition, the more preparation that is done before class, the smoother the class operation runs, and the impact can last for a longer period of time. In general, the more preparation that is done before class, the smoother learning process in the classroom. Thorough preparation also has a long-term impact, as it not only provides benefits for a single class, but also shapes the behavior patterns of students who are engaged and focused on learning. So, next slide. Okay, we move to the next point about orchestrating smooth, efficient transitions. So, in this point, there are 2-point discussion too. The first one is smoothness of transitions and momentum. This point discusses the importance of transitioning between learning activities smoothly and efficiently to keep students engaged and maintain learning momentum. So, the case example provides the different ways teacher manage these transitions. So, the first one, in case 3.11, describe how Mr. Kondi failed to get the attentions of all his students before giving directions for the next learning activity. The transition between the writing activity and answering the history questions was chaotic, as some students were still engaged with the previous activity, while others moved on to the new text, and some only started the new text after confusion. In case 3.12, show how Ms. Jacindas wastes time with small details and try to convince her students how fun the activity is going to be, thus boring the student before the actual activity starts. And the last, in case 3.13, Mr. Sifile failed to maintain the learning momentum by switching student attention from one activity to another without good continuity. This left some students still focused on the previous debates when Mr. Sifile expected them to be focused on his explanation. And the second point is about minimizing transition time. This point explains the importance of minimizing transition time between learning activities to maximize the time allocated for students to engage in a learning activity. So, by reducing transition time, students have more time that can be used for learning. This can increase the level of student engagement in learning. So, shortening transition time has several other benefits, such as reducing distraction and minimizing the time students spend waiting. Waiting can cause students to engage in disruptive behavior and reduce focus on learning. This can be done by organizing procedures efficiently and eliminating administrative tasks that are not related to learning. Thus, students will not waste their time doing unproductive things, such as disrupting the class or daydreaming. Because if already daydreaming, students may also find it difficult to focus on learning activity when the transition time ends and the time allocated for learning begins. For example, when a teacher can smoothly and quickly move from one lesson to another without too many distractions or pause, students tend to be more engaged in learning. Conversely, if the transition takes a long time or the learning activity is interrupted, the level of student engagement is likely to decrease. So next slide. So, we move to the next point again about dispensing with administrative duties. In this point, there are 2-point discussions. The first in inefficient and efficient use of class time. So, we will discuss the first point first about inefficient use of class time. This point discusses that inefficient administrative tasks can disrupt classroom learning time. As in the example of case 3.14, Ms. Rolando has to spend time on administrative tasks such as recording attendance, organizing student lunch, and dealing with late or absent students before the start of the lesson. So for a specific example of this is when Ms. Rolando spends 9 minutes calling roll and 4 minutes dealing with late or absent sleeps. Students sit in silence or find ways to entertain themselves. This makes them restless and unprepared to engage in learning activities. As a result, time that should be used for learning is wasted, and students lose focus and engagement in learning. In this case, such inefficient administrative tasks can disrupt learning time and student engagement in learning activities. The second is about efficient use of class time. This point illustrates how teachers in public schools can manage administrative tasks efficiently without disrupting learning time, and student can engagement. In case 3.15, Ms. Drexler managed to handle her administrative tasks efficiently. So for example, Ms. Drexler asked her students to write yes or no on their math homework papers to indicate whether they would eat at the cafeteria or not. Meanwhile, she also gives math quizzes that students can answer in writing. While students are answering the quiz, Ms. Drexler is simultaneously collecting attendance, lunch count, and homework data using her smartphone. Using the program filters on her smartphones, Ms. Drexler was able to efficiently transmit the lunch count data to the school office and complete her administrative tasks before the quiz was over. This allows students to stay engaged in learning without being distracted by the teacher's administrative tasks. Thus, Ms. Drexler make efficient use of class time and ensure that students remain focused on learning without being distracted by administrative tasks that must be done. So, next slide. So, in this point, we discuss about saving time when distributing materials and giving directions. In this point, there are 3-point discussions. So, the first one, we discuss about efficient beginning to learning activities. This point address the efficient of distributing materials and providing instructions when starting a learning activity. In the example of case 3.16 and case 3.17, the efficiency of the transition between learning activities is compared. So, in case 3.16, Mr. Hansen start the learning activity by simply giving general instructions to the whole class and asking students to find a partner. This caused confusion and took a long time to start the activity. The students lost interest in learning. While in the case 3.17, Mr. Zukola was more organized and prepared the material and instructions before students return from break. He gives instructions to several students at once and allows students to engage in the activity immediately without waiting for instruction from the teachers. This makes the process of starting the activity faster and students are immediately engaged in learning. Thus, case 3.17 shows a more efficient approach in starting the learning activity compared to case 3.16, as students are immediately engaged in learning without any confusions or long time interruptions. So the second point is about freedom from having to speak to the whole class. This point discusses the advantage of giving instructions without having to speak to the whole class at once. So first, in case 3.16, Mr. Hansen has to give instruction to the whole class at once, which causes students to wait for everyone to be ready before starting the learning activity. Meanwhile, in case 3.17, Mr. Jukola has prepared written instructions on card for each student, so he is free to help students individually without having to give instruction to the whole class. For example, Ms. McDaniel had to repeat the instructions several times because the student did not understand the instructions. However, in case 3.19, Mr. Johnson provides written instruction to students at each workstation, so that if students difficulty understanding the instructions, he can simply direct them back to the written instructions. Thus, providing instruction in written form or using other alternatives to speaking to the whole class simultaneously has advantage, such as the ability to supervise transition time more efficiently. Students can start the activity immediately without having to wait, and teacher can save energy and keep student attention. So the last one, the point is about distributing material ahead of time. This point describes an effective way to distribute materials to students before they are needed, thus reducing and transition time between learning activities. So in the example of case 3.12, Miss Sally used the time at the end of the learning activity to distribute materials for the next learning activity. For example, while Miss Sally's students are writing their answer to the question during the reading activity on dental disease, Miss Sally's moved among them silently reading their answer and placed a shielded box containing an otoscope under the desk of every two students. She planned for the pairs to use the otoscopes to examine each other's ears in the next learning activity. Since the students were already familiar with these procedures, they knew not to open the box without further instructions and did not need to ask, "What is this for?" Thus, by distributing material before they are needed, the teacher can save transition time between learning activities and make students better prepared to start the next activity without distraction and confusion. Okay, maybe that's enough explanation from me. I'll return to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, I will present the next material, which is employing technology to enhance classroom efficiency. The first, case 3.23, Miss Steele lists the first feature on the board. Steele turns around ready to discuss the first feature, but the students are still copying with the discussion of the first feature complete. Miss Steele again turns her back to the class and starts repeating the process for the second through 7 features. By the time she gets to the fourth feature, the whiteboard area that could be readily viewed by the student is exhausted, so the erases the first several features to make room. Steele is writing on the board. Some students amuse themselves by daydreaming or whispering. still face the class to explain and discuss another one of the 7 features. And the second is case 3.24. Mr. Paywati announced to his social studies class there are 7 major features of the Bill of Rights with which we need to be familiar. Please jot each down in your notebooks as I display it on the wall. Then we'll discuss the feature in some detail. Paywati watches the student ready their notebooks and then through the classroom's multimedia projector display the first slide from his table laptop. Paywati is able to control what the student can view on the wall because he did not have to take up student time writing on the board with his back to the class. Mr. Web-based interactive learning tools are some of widely available and cost-effective devices that make it easier for you the high-quality professional demonstration and presentation that enhance the businessable atmosphere of your classroom, reduce transition time, and make it easier for you to supervise and attend to your students while they are engaged in learning activities. The next material is saving time with intra-class grouping. Intra-class grouping is the subdividing of the student within a class into individual task groups for a learning activity. In case 3.5, students waste time waiting their turn to be engaged in a learning activity. And in case 3.6, the teachers use intra-class grouping to keep students busily engaged. Case 3.25, 13 junior high school basketball players are practicing to hand jazz passes under coach McCurry instructions. The coach tosses the ball to John, who at the of the line, and the players form a single line. At the front of the queue, while Jan returns the ball to coach McCurry, B demonstrates a two-hands jazz pass and remarks, "Nice job, Jan." Next up, the next players in line get a change when Jan goes back to the back of the line. Next, accommodating students who complete work at different times. Result of studies involving hundreds of elementary and secondary schools classrooms in a wide variety of settings, e.g. inner city and suburban, indicate huge variations in the percentage of allocated time that is lost to the inefficiencies, transitions, and student off-task behaviors. The average appears to be about 50%. Kang Losi, 2013, Fisher at 1980, Jones 1979, Strike 1190. Oftentimes is used during independent work session in which students individually work on a task as the teacher moves about the improving individual help. The last material is creating a comfortable, non-training, and self-learning community. The first is a frightening place. If students feel that a teacher has challenged or embraced them in front of their peers, they may consider engagement in learning activities to be tantamount to collaborating with a reasoned authority figure. Due to threats from bullies or arguments of antisocial conduct, school may be such a frightening place for some students that they worry more about protecting themselves than they do about learning. The presence of this source of fear does not exhaust behavior or disengagement from learning activities. And second is risking self-respect. On the surface, such a phenomenon would seem to motivate students to be engaged in learning activities so that they will achieve. In reality, however, the phenomenon poses one of the greater hindrance to students' willing engagement in learning activities. And the last is dissociating self-respect from achievement. Students would be much less defensive and thus more likely to cooperate if adults did not communicate that they risk their self-respect whenever they undertake tasks or are expected to behave in a perspective manner. Okay, thank you very much to my friends who have delivered the material well. And Alhamdulillah, the presentation session is over. Then I will read the conclusion of our discussion today. Namely, the main point of the given text is that establishing a business-like climate in the classroom can lead to more efficient and meaningful learning. This can be achieved by creating a favorable beginning, displaying witness, modeling preparation and organization, and orchestrating smooth transition through Preparation and efficient translation contribute a positive learning climate and student engagement. Okay, maybe that's enough for the presentation and discussion from our group. I, as the moderator, apologize if there were mistakes when delivering and there were shortcomings from our group. Thank you for all my friends who have participated. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.